Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I am the host of the show. Today we have on Chad Hutto, right? Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Nice. Do you want to tell the audience what you do?
Well, I do just about everything, really. I like to stand up in front of people and make them laugh.
Nice.
So that's been a passion of mine for several years.
Sweet.
And that, what kind of got that started was I actually pulled up on a car accident right down the road from where I grew up or where I was living. And it was a head-on collision, and one person wasn't injured. The other person in the car was injured. Well, anyway, I was the first person on scene. I was talking to the lady. I was like 16, 17, you know.
Okay.
And I was talking to the lady that was hurt. She was bleeding out of her nose, and, you know, I just talked to her. I couldn't tell you what I said, but I did something to make her laugh. Mm-hmm. And when I made her laugh, I was like, okay, I waited when the cops got there, everything. I left. Well, I waited till she got in the ambulance. Mm-hmm. And when they put her in the ambulance, she thanked me. Mm-hmm. Keeping her mind off of what was going on and all this and her hurt. I was like, you know what? I said that whatever I said or whatever I did to make her kind of chuckle, that took her mind off of what was going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I want to help people like that. I want to make people laugh.
That's awesome, man.
So I started just kind of fiddling around doing things more or less to almost hurt myself to make somebody laugh.
Okay.
So I actually played a drunk back in the 90s. At that point in my life, I didn't have to act very much, but I played a drunk at Buckskin Joe in Canyon City.
Okay.
In their gunfights, and back in the late 90s. And like I said, in that point in my life, I didn't have to act very much. I pretty much just showed up to work. But anyway, we did that, and I busted my elbows and stuff, and people laughed. I just kept on doing that, and it became something that I chose to follow. And started doing it on stage in 2008, and was raising a family and had to put it on the back burner. And, and got back into it this year, and then
nice. Yeah,
then
not
then
nice.
the virus hit, and we had another little hiccup. So, but that's all right.
But you're pushing through it, and you're like, I'm still gonna make it happen regardless.
We're still working on it, still making it happen.
That's awesome.
We've got. I say we. It's just pretty much me.
Yeah.
So it's my split. My split personality. So this personality says keep doing it. This personality says you're crazy, and they argue all the time. So
I got you.
Yeah. There's doctors for that, but they can't figure it out. So.
Yeah. For sure. I think I might suffer from the same disease.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna read the advertisements and then roll the intro music, and we'll just dive into your journey with that.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Cool
so
deal.
the first sponsorship for the show is my video production company, Vehement Visuals. I produce videos for businesses and really help them implement video strategies to help grow or accelerate their business through video, essentially.
Cool.
And so that's the first sponsor is my show. My video production company helps make this show possible, essentially.
You might have a sale because I need a video.
Okay, sweet. Well, that's perfect. And then the second sponsor, second advertising space is Reading This Advertising Space. If you'd like me to promote your business at the beginning of every episode or promote just something that you want to promote at the beginning of an episode, then you can reach out to me and make that happen, cosbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. And that's the advertisement space, actually, that we have for this episode. And I'm going to roll the intro music, and we'll dive into to your comedy, what you do, and yeah.
Cool.
This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs, doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. Yeah, man. So
this is all new to me. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm important now.
Okay, sweet.
Almost want to sign my own autograph.
Yeah. So. Nice. Yeah. We haven't had a comedian on the show yet. I think we had someone who did comedy once, though.
Well, if they didn't classify themselves as a comedian, then that's they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So being a comedian is essentially like running your own business in a way. I mean, not even like in a way. I mean, it 100% is. You mean you got to go out there and make it happen.
It is. You got to hustle. You're busier than a two-legged cat with diarrhea.
Okay.
I mean, it really is. It's a hustle. It's a hustle, especially when you're working full time and trying to make a living for the family, because comedy's not paying the bills.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I wish and I hope and pray one day that it will. You know. But right now it's not. So I got it, and it's hard. I try to do videos. I was doing videos back in Texas, excuse me, every day on my Facebook page and
nice
and Instagram page and stuff like that, and all of those are connected to my website.
Yeah.
And so but when I moved up here, everything kind of went. You know, we just moved up here a couple months ago, and it's been, for lack of better words, head down, butt up since we've been here.
Okay.
And it's just been, we've had to get busy doing this. We're just now moving into our house. Moved in yesterday, as a matter of fact. Spent the first night in our house yesterday, or last night.
Okay, sweet.
So you walk in the house, it looked like a moving company threw up in there. But that's pretty much what happened. But you're looking at the moving company. So we decided we were going to sell everything back home and move up here with nothing.
Okay.
So I'll give you an idea what nothing looks like. It's 16 foot long, about 5 feet high, and 6.5 feet wide. Twice. That's what nothing looks like. So we moved up here with
bare essentials.
A lot of nothing.
Yeah.
And we're going through it like, why did we not throw this away?
Yeah.
We were throwing it away, and my mom, bless her heart, she'll probably watch this later.
Okay.
If she can figure it out. Her and technology are like, a rat and a rattlesnake. They don't get along. But she came over to help pack, and we had most of the stuff packed that we were going to take. The rest of it we were just throwing away. And she's like, no, y'all need this. Y'all need that. I'm like, we got. No, it's, well, y'all need this. I'm like, it's an empty toilet paper roll. We don't need this. So, but anyway, she's like, well, you can pack something in it. So anyway, she came over and packed. She just started throwing stuff in boxes.
For sure.
So we're looking at going through all that stuff and being like, you know what, wow.
Yeah. I'm going to double check this real quick.
All right.
It's bugging me in my back of my head.
Uh-oh.
I know it's recording. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are you like me and got CDO?
Oh, what's that?
It's the same thing as OCD, but in alphabetical order, the way it's supposed to be. So,
nice. Yeah, I like that.
So, but
yeah, I'm just paranoid about it. Eventually, I'm gonna have like a production assistant, so I don't have to like worry about that. They can be like, "Hey, you're not recording."
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm gonna put a roll call out for that right now. I'm looking for an intern for 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want to learn video production and how to run a nice podcast, and just get into that, if that's something you're interested in, boom. And I don't mean to like just pitch that right in the middle of our conversation, but
hey, you know what? I might be interested.
Okay. So I would say welcome to the city, but I think before we were recording, you were saying this is your 4th time here?
This is my 4th time to live here. I moved up here, and my parents moved up in 97. I moved up in 98. My sister and brother-in-law and niece moved up in 99. I got smart and moved back in 2000.
Okay.
No, I moved back to East Texas to be with my granddaddy. He wasn't doing too good. Ended up getting married 2001. The 9th of this month, we'll be married 19 and a half years. So
nice. Congrats. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's kind of unheard of in her family. So no.
Yeah.
No, but no, it's like I said, we've been married 19 years. We put up with each other. We ain't killed each other yet, so apparently we're supposed to be together.
Nice.
But anyway, then she and I moved back up here in 2002. Almost got divorced inside of about a year, so we moved back home.
Okay.
And then we decided to move back up here. She was wanting to go back to school, and I was going to go back to school, and ended up going to work for Sheriff's Department up here. And then I was, East Texas oil field. You're offered, you chase the money, kind of thing. I was young, dumb, had 2 kids, and I said, I got to go make money. So we left and went back and stayed down there for 14 years before we come back up here.
Okay.
So we've been talking about moving, selling our place and moving for about a year, and decided, we're going to go ahead and do it, but we didn't know where we were going. We came up here in June to visit for a little while, and we was like, I think this is where we're supposed to go. So
for sure.
So yeah,
It was calling you.
it was calling. It was calling. And when I left here, I said, I'll never live there again. I'll never live there. I'll go visit, but I'll never live there again. And yeah, well, never say never.
Yeah.
I'm living proof and never say never. So
Why'd you say never live here again?
I said I'd never live here. I don't know. I really I can't put a finger on it. But when I left, I was just like my daddy, hard headed. You know, I was like, when something didn't go my way, I just, you know, I ain't gonna do it again.
For sure.
So, and that's kind of what I did with comedy, honestly.
Okay.
It didn't go the way I wanted to in the 2 years that I did it, you know, and so the last show I did was really a train wreck, for lack of better words. I did a 30-minute show for free, and I was talking out of 2 like 6x9 speakers. You know,
okay.
I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm 42. So back in the day when I was driving, if you had 6x9 speakers back home, you were like living high on the hog. Okay. That was almost like having a system in your car.
For sure.
So, but anyway, I was talking out of 2 little old speakers, and I had some people I work with that came to the show. They were like 12 feet from the stage, and they couldn't hear me. So it was just a train wreck. I'm like, you know what? This is it. I'm done. I ain't ever going to do it again. I was telling you earlier, back in the late 90s, I worked security for a country singer. And she and I got back in contact with each other, and she kind of pushed me to get back into it. Because, you know, it'd been 20 years since I'd seen her almost, and she has since retired. But, yeah, so she pushed me to get back into it. She's actually the one that built my Facebook page. And
nice.
And my buddy, one of my very best friends, he was trying to push me to get back into it. And I told him, I was like, now's not the time. And he committed suicide February 7th of last year. And so my first show is kind of ironic. My first show that I had in 10 years was actually scheduled in February of this year. And so I dedicated that show to him. And when I get my first album done, that will also be dedicated to him as well.
For sure.
So,
When you going to get the album done?
Man, I say I'm working on it. I have not been working on it. I'm lying to you by saying I'm working on it. I did do some recording at the last show that I did up in Woodland Park. Actually, as of right now, unless the government says we can't do it, we've got a show booked there at the Historic Ute Inn in Woodland Park on the second Friday of February or January.
Oh, really?
So whatever day that is, I think it's the 8th.
And that's planned already?
That's planned.
And you're going to be there?
I'll be there.
Okay, January the
second Friday. Yeah,
okay.
Second Friday. I think the first. I won't say the first is on Friday.
Okay.
I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't even know what yesterday was, so it's okay.
I think it was. Oh, I forgot. No, just
kidding. It was the day before today.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what we got going. And you are reaching out for an intern.
Yeah.
I'm seeking an agent or a manager to try to help me get some shows booked. I tell people, you find me somewhere, you find me a group of people, you put a group of people together, I'll stand up and talk to them. If they pay me, I'll give you some of it.
Okay, nice.
So
Sweet.
That's kind of the way I look at it.
Is there a business model for comedians that they can go to like private parties?
Some people do private parties. I'll do private parties.
Okay.
Like I said, you gather a group of people, I don't care where it's at.
Yeah.
As long as I ain't got to shoot my way in or out of it.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them. I like talking to people.
Okay.
I got the gift of gab, is what a buddy of mine told me.
Nice.
So, but I'll talk to the stop sign as long as the wind blows it every now and then.
For sure. Well, you'll have to reach out, or I'll have to get you connected with Eric Phillips, the owner of 3E's Comedy Club.
All right, cool deal.
And maybe he might know a connection that could be an agent or someone that can get you in the scene here as well too. So
and my big thing is all the videos that I have that are actually, I guess you could say, published on my YouTube channel or the performing videos. Most of them are old from back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And the quality, for lack of a better word, sucks. So I actually had another. I call him a friend. I mean, we've never physically met. We've chatted back and forth, and I try to watch his videos. He does. He's actually a touring comedian now, and has been for a while, but he did a lot of cruise ships. So I reached out to him and was like, hey, what am I doing wrong? And he was like, get better videos.
Okay, sweet.
So I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to have to do. I guess I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and quit being cheap and trying to video it with my iPad and find somebody with a camera to come in and and video it.
And skills.
Yeah. And so I you know, as a buddy of mine told me, a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in like 15 years, we met up, had a beer the other day, and anyway, they brought the ticket. When I pulled my wallet out, he said, I got it. He said, you're a struggling comedian. I'm paying for it.
Oh, dang.
So that's my deal with the video. I'm a struggling comedian. So,
I feel you.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I've even thought about trying to get, you know, some of the cameras and stuff and try to set it, but I ain't got a clue what I'm doing.
For sure.
You know, I barely know how to work my phone camera.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Usually I try to take a picture of you and my face is on the screen. I don't know why. It's just, you know, but yeah, it's, you know, like I say, I like that fun. I like that fun with it.
For sure.
So, but as far as the business goes, yes, it is a full-fledged, full-time job business. I had a friend of mine that was an actor, still is an actor. He was in the middle of filming 21 Jump Street. And he and his brother had a hunting show called Killing and Grilling. His name's Randall Reeder. I'm 6'2", and I look at Randall. My eye level's like right here.
Okay.
Like, you know, just about the bottom of his neck. And Randall's a big fella. He's a good dude. I love him to death. You know, but he called me. He's like, hey, dude. He said, we need people to hustle sponsorship spots for our TV show. And he said, the way you've been hustling comedy, he said, I want you to do that for us. So. So that's kind of like, you know what, I didn't really look at it that way as I was, you know, hustling comedy work. I've been paid for 2 shows that I've ever done, you know, and one of those was a contest.
But you were promoting yourself, though.
But I was promoting myself, and that's what I'm trying to do is just promote myself and get myself out there. I've got right now like 4,200 followers on my Facebook page.
Oh, nice.
Which my Facebook page is Chad Hutto Hoss, Hoss, all one word.
Yeah.
I went by Hoss for years. Place I used to work back home, you call them and ask them who Chad Hutto is. They won't tell you, but you ask them who Hoss is, and they'll tell you probably a lot of stuff you don't want to know.
For sure. Okay.
And I found that out to be true. Another place that I worked, they were calling around to see if I was driving a truck. You know, he said, we will call around other people you drove for. Sure enough, they called this place and called the supervisor there, and they asked him about Chad. He's like, man, I don't know who you're talking about. He said, they said you'd call him Hoss. He said, oh, yeah, I know him. And so, anyway, so yeah. So that's where the Hoss comes in. And the same name for the Instagram page.
Yeah. And
my website is cowboyhosscomedian.com.
So what's your strategy with your comedy?
Man, like I say, my strategy was, I tell people ask me what style of comedy I do. And I've asked everybody if you ever heard of Rodney Carrington. Most people have heard of Rodney Carrington, comedian.
Yeah. Is that's the one with the guitar?
Yeah. I was actually listening to him right before I got here. Anyway, and Jerry Clower. Jerry Clower was an old, more or less Christian comedian.
Okay.
If those 2 men could have got married and had a baby, it would have been me. Okay? So my show, I can go a 18 and over show, or I can do the whole family, you know. I'm honestly trying to get my show to where it's more family oriented. Than not. You know, now if somebody wants to do a show that way, then by all means.
For sure.
You know, but if they want, somebody says, hey, we got a, you know, family reunion, we want entertainment for.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So you have an entire set you've built already.
Yeah, and I can do that set. I can alter about 95% of that set to go either way.
Have you considered TikTok?
You know, I did have a TikTok account for a little while. I couldn't figure the darn thing out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, it could be for as someone who's a comedian, you know, a creative. TikTok could be a good strategy because, you know, the exposure that you can get so quickly, so easily. Like it's an app basically designed to make people go viral.
Yeah. Well, I did. You know, I had one video that got like 59,000 views on my Facebook. I did the Coke.
Nice.
I did the Coke and Mentos challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it on my. I think it's on my YouTube channel as well. But
nice.
You know, I don't have very many followers. I don't promote my YouTube deal. I just, you know, I don't. for the last 2 months, I ain't really promoted myself.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we've been busy.
Well, you've been
you know?
you've been in the middle of moving.
Yeah, it's been. We got up here one weekend. We went back to Texas the next weekend. Came back with the rest of our nothing.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like I say, I now that we're in our house, I'm about to get I'm gonna have my own room. I don't want to call it a man cave because it's really not going to be. It's going to be my comedy room, I guess.
Yeah.
My studio, if you will.
For sure.
But I'm not going to have all this fancy equipment though.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be me, my phone, and my iPad. Probably about it. But,
that's why I said TikTok as well, because you don't need a bunch of fancy equipment for TikTok. Sure, there's some TikTokers that do that, but I mean, it's designed to be just pull out your freaking phone and make some content.
So yeah, I may have to check back into that.
Yeah,
my kids have it.
Okay.
And, so I mean, I'm trying to get my phone to work, and I'm like, how you do this? And they're like, there you go. So it's asking for a password. How did you do that with your finger? My finger don't. So
yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I may have to check into that.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that idea. So, and I follow other comedians. I watch, and I don't want to say I steal material, but some of the things some of the jokes they tell gives me ideas to write.
Definitely inspire. I mean, that's how things work.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just how it all works.
I like to say it just inspired me to write. I wrote one the other day. Grew up in rodeo.
Yeah.
And I used to ride bulls like a darn fool. That's why I walk crooked now. So that and jumping off of four-wheelers and out of the back of trucks and stuff like that when they're moving.
Yeah.
For absolutely no reason.
For sure.
So, but I wrote one about, I saw a video on Facebook. I just opened my computer and boom, there's a video. I was like, oh, you know what? And I just started writing.
For sure.
So it,
you never know what inspiration can
exactly.
come from.
And I was talking to a friend yesterday that come help me move some stuff. And we were talking. I was like, "See," I said, "That's material." And I woke up this morning. I was like, "What the hell were we talking about?" So I
should have wrote it down.
I should have wrote it down. And I don't think the phone. I had trouble getting into my storage unit yesterday to get all the stuff. My code wasn't working. I had to call him, and he's like, "Well, use this code." So I used that code. He said, "Just use that code to get out." I said, "Okay." I said, "Can you email that to me? Because I don't have anything to write this down with." And he's like, "You don't have your phone?" Like, yeah, so I can put it in my phone.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So I put it in the phone. So
yeah, start getting in the habit of that.
Yeah,
just make it a habit.
Yeah, I mean technology.
Yeah.
I like technology when it works.
Yeah.
But when I don't think about it because I don't use it all the time like that.
For sure.
So I'm one of these. I like to write things down.
My phone has a pen built into it.
So I might have to do that. Maybe that'll. So and signing, like doing the e-sign things, I can't read what I write anyway. So
yeah, those e-signs are ridiculous. There's some material that you could probably pull out of those.
Yeah,
things.
yeah. It's I'm where I work now. I won't throw their name out there, but anyway, people come in and we just start talking, and I get material off of that.
For sure, yeah.
And it's just customers come in, and and a lot of things I remember, and some things I don't. But I keep I got to start writing it down.
For sure,
and
yeah.
Before, I kept a notebook in the truck. I kept one close by me. And I would always write stuff down.
And I know how Joe Rogan, he talks about how he lets the stage also, I mean, just performing helps you really like solidify your content too.
Yeah.
I mean, first, obviously you have to write it first,
Yeah.
but then after that you can like work it and make it like, oh, this works here, timing works good for this one. You know?
Exactly. And I actually did that with the 2 shows that I did up here this year.
Nice.
I
they constantly improve, right?
Exactly, and try it with different audiences.
Yeah.
And there, I know there's some open mics out here, and I'm looking to try to get into some of them.
For sure.
I think they have one place has one on Wednesday night, one has one on Thursday night or something like that.
And they might be doing them outdoors. I know with the recent, Code Red or whatever, Severe Red thing, all the restaurants had to close down. That meant comedy clubs had to close down again too.
Yeah, we went to eat at the View House or the House View or whatever it is. They're about froze to death. So
yeah, because you have to eat outside. Yeah.
We were up on the balcony overlooking, like, man, this is pretty.
Oh, was it the Atomic Cowboy?
No, it's there at Woodman and I-25, the View.
Okay.
Got the big windows outside.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
And then they got the big tent in the parking lot. and that really don't make any sense to me.
No, yeah. So you're gonna put the outdoors in.
Yeah,
the
you're gonna put
indoors,
the outdoors.
outdoors.
Yeah, exactly. But they're still indoors.
Yeah.
So I don't know. None of this stuff makes sense to me. It really don't.
Put the indoors outdoors so that it
Yeah.
can just be indoors
Yeah,
again.
and then open the big doors on the side of the building, so that way the indoors is outdoors, considered outdoor. I don't know. It's kind of like wiping before you go. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
But like I say, that's kind of my. I know we mentioned strategy 30 minutes ago, but yeah, it's just. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I
have another strategy for you as well.
Right.
After I hit this button one more time.
All right.
It restarts at 30 minutes, so I got to reset it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm getting some equipment where it won't do that no more. But constant upgrades with this show. Every week there's something new that happens. When I was first doing the show, it was just my phone, and that was recording audio over here and audio over here, and I didn't even have all this. I didn't even have the office, the studio when I first started. Actually, I just built it worked it as it went.
Yeah, exactly. and that's what I'm doing with the comedy. It's just I'm as I get more, as I get better, whatever I improve or improve that. I got T-shirts, caps,
nice
tumbler cups with my logo engraved on it and stuff. And it's I got stuff like that, and when I do videos, like one of the last show I did a live video, and I said, if y'all come to the show and you've seen this video, the first person that comes to me will be able to get their choice of whatever they want.
Nice. Okay.
And so when a guy came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I saw your video. Am I the first person?" I said, "Absolutely, you are."
Nice.
So he got, I think, a T-shirt, and his wife I got a pair of boxers too. I got my own underwear line, dude. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah. I'm the redneck Calvin Klein. That's what it is. With Hanes, I think is what it is. But I had a saying that said, I kind of stole this saying. I reworded it a little bit. But I say stole it. I thought I came up with it, honestly. I really honestly did. And then I saw it printed somewhere else, like a baseball player said it 100 years ago.
Okay, that happens, though.
Yeah. Growing up is a given, but growing old is a given, but growing up is an option.
Okay.
So, and I had that on a T-shirt, laying in the bed at night. Ironic that I was there. But laying in the bed at night, I had an inspiration for another saying, and it was getting old or growing old makes getting up a challenge.
Okay.
So, and I'm talking about the men.
Yeah.
Men, okay. So I said, I want to put that on a pair of boxers. And my wife, because my sister was the one making my shirts and stuff for me at the time, and she said, "Your sister is not going to do that." I said, "Watch." So I sent her a text. Said, "Hey, here's my idea for boxers." She said, "I'm on it." So I ordered a package of boxers.
So you got some boxers. Sweet. Nice.
So I sent it to her, and the guy's wife wanted that. And she's like, "You don't have this problem, but I still want these."
Nice.
So, but yeah, so it's, people that buy I've got people that bought caps, really all over the country. Caps were really what I started with.
Okay.
Because, back in East Texas and the South, people collect caps, I was one of them. And so that's where I started with the merchandise part of it.
Yeah.
I got caps in Oregon. I got caps all over the country. I got shipping one to Australia,
Nice.
So, I mean, it's kind of a neat deal. It really is, and I got a guy that followed me from Australia that checks in with my videos and
Nice.
stuff pretty frequently. But I've got a following from really worldwide.
Yeah.
I've got people in Canada, Australia, Germany.
Yeah.
Iran of all places, not Iran, I'm sorry. India of all places. I ran away from Iran. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But anyway, India of all places. I mean, it's I don't know if they can understand what I'm saying, but hell, half the people up here can't understand what I'm saying. So it works out. So.
For sure. Well, I was thinking there's a comedian I've been following on Facebook. He's not like a huge comedian or anything, but he's grown a following on Facebook, and he utilizes Twitter's also a good spot for for growing as a comedian because it's good for like one-liners, and you just post them, and like people will reshare that, and that can also help grow your brand. But a lot of people they'll have their Twitter, and when they have an idea for like just a random idea for a joke, they'll release it on Twitter, but they'll screenshot it and then post it on Facebook. Yeah. And then so he's been posting his tweets on Facebook, and they've just been funny and relatable and current, the things he's been saying, and like his Facebook post of his tweet, his image, his screenshot of his tweet is getting a lot of attraction and helping him grow his brand, which he can also click or put a link in the comments saying, hey, if you like this, make sure to follow over here or check out some of my other stuff. And I was just thinking, like, since you can't do shows really right now for the most part because they're mostly closed down, your strategy almost has to be doubling down on making content online and growing your presence that way, so that when you are ready to, or when the shows do come back, that you'll be like prepared and like have some kind of following built. You've built up a following, but I mean like build up the that's all you really can do right now is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, exactly. And with my Instagram, I have a lot of people that follow I say a lot. Mm-hmm. I have like 200 people on my Instagram because again, I don't
it's
really
relative,
push
though.
that one. I really don't push that one. Facebook is the one that I've been pushing because that's the one I'm most familiar with. But the problem I have with Instagram is, I get these people that, look like supermodels comment or messaging me going, hey, how are you?
Oh, yeah, the spam.
Where are you from? And I just put my website. I reply with my website.
For sure.
All the information you want to know about me is right there. Mm-hmm. And so then they're like, well, seriously, where are you from? I'm like, seriously, go to this website. But yeah, that's what I'm like, you seriously a supermodel contacting me? I mean, have we met? So,
for sure.
But so I usually don't follow them back. I mean,
well, they're spam anyways. That's all that is.
It's just
some dude in the Middle East or some dude in a different country, who's just I
had a friend request, friend request on Facebook the other day from somebody whose Facebook profile was like 3 hours old.
Okay,
so I'm like, delete.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to filter out the spam.
Yeah, that's that's I grew up on spam, and that's what bothers me. My mama, what do you want for lunch? A spam sandwich.
Fried spam.
Yeah, she'd throw it in a skillet and put a piece of cheese on there, put mayonnaise on 2 pieces of bread, and slap it together and throw it at me.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm hungry right now.
Me and you both. That actually sounds good. But yeah, no, Twitter. I hadn't even thought about Twitter, honestly.
Twitter and then using it to grow on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Like Twitter to be the platform where you make the tweet. But what's cool is like you can, use hashtags and, people can find your stuff through that. But if you start growing just a small following on Twitter, your small following can share things.
Yeah.
And then the retweet button is really what makes things catch fire on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen people do it on Instagram, but I don't know how to. Like if you had something on Instagram that I liked, I wanted to share, other than screenshotting it, I don't know how to. I can't figure out how to forward it or share it.
Yeah, me neither. I think you can forward it in messages, like direct messages.
Yeah,
I know that, but I've seen people who it says reshared like in the bottom of the corner.
Yeah,
I think they use a third-party app actually for that.
I don't know. There's an app for everything. Like the parking meter.
Yeah, I'm so excited they did that.
Yeah, I was sitting in the truck waiting, trying to get the app, and I look up and here you come. Like crap. I don't have any cash. I don't know how to pay for this thing.
Yeah. It's a card, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I don't usually have any coins. I wish it would take dollar bills sometimes, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm usually have a lot of coins. I mean, when I go to strip clubs, they don't like it.
Yeah.
They fall through. But it's but yeah, it's other than that. That's I don't carry a lot of cash either. So
for sure.
But one, because I don't have a lot of cash, but I went to the bank. I told you I got paid for 2 shows, and one of those was a contest. My first big check I got the other day, I took it to the bank, and they were like, a check this big, we're going to have to put a hold on it. I went, you know what? I've been doing business with this bank for years. Mm-hmm. I said, why are you I've never had a check come back. Why are you putting a hold on my check? Well, that's just bank policy, sir.
Yeah.
I said, well, I tell you what, you just take all of my money out of my accounts. And I'm going to go to another bank.
For sure.
And she typed on a computer. She said, would you like $2 bills or 8 quarters? So.
Oh.
So I was like, give me the quarters. parking meter out there. So
For sure.
but, so yeah, that was my my big check.
Yeah.
Put a hold on my check, but no, like I say, I like having fun.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about. If I look at it, my granddaddy always told me, if something I enjoy doing, don't try to make a job out of it, because then it's a job. You gotta get up and go to work.
For sure, yeah.
You may eventually hate it. That's why I quit riding bulls. That, and the doctor told me if I wanted to keep walking, I better stop.
Yeah.
So I rode for money one time, got bucked off, said I never ride for money again. I rode for fun every time after that.
Nice.
But wasn't very good at it, but I had fun, So, and I may not be very good at comedy, but I'm having fun with it.
For sure.
And that's all that matters. And if there's 100 people there and I make one person laugh, my job was complete.
I get it. Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. And, comedy helped me through a dark time in my life. I told you I've been married 19 and a half years almost. She and I was actually engaged in the mid-90s.
Okay.
And we split up. She left me. So that, I kind of went down in a dark hole.
For sure.
I lost friends. I, was rude to my family. I just, I went down in a, I don't want to say a depression, but I just, I didn't want to be around people, and,
sounds like a depression.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I just didn't want to classify it as that. But no, I didn't want to be around people. And a buddy of mine brought me a tape. That's how we used to listen to things back in the day, as a cassette tape.
Oh yeah.
If you had a CD, that meant Daddy had a lot of money. And,
Okay.
But he brought me a tape of Jay Hickman was a comedian.
Okay.
Jay Hickman's passed away now, but and Jay, I'll give you this. Jay was a really raunchy comedian.
Okay.
But he was funny, and that helped me with my sanity, if you will.
For sure.
The comedy helped me, and I'm like, you know what? And this, the car accident I told you about earlier was before this.
Yeah.
So actually about 2 years before this, and so that kind of helped me. I'm like, if I can do something like that to help somebody, I'm all about helping people.
For sure.
I like helping people, and that's why I have a criminal justice and law enforcement background as well, and and I like helping people. And I spent 12 and a half years working in a penitentiary in Texas, and it's just I've actually had people that were released that were in the facilities that I worked at come up to me on the street and like, hey, because of you, I didn't do this. Because of you, and that makes me feel good. I mean, it's not a pat on my back. I don't look at it that way. I don't look at I was doing what I was doing what I felt like I was called to do.
Yeah.
And I just have a passion for helping people.
Yeah.
So, and my wife used to fuss at me. I'd go help somebody do something. He's like, why are you helping them do this? They won't come help you do that. I was like, I'm just going to help them.
Yeah.
And December 15th of 2008, our house burned down and burned to the ground. And all we had was pretty much clothes on our backs.
Yeah.
That was it. Within 24 hours, the people of that community had raised like $4,000 for us.
Nice.
So she said, now I understand.
You understand the help, and
help, I was like,
yeah. What's cool is, like, even if you give without expectation, I've learned this recently through a book called The Go-Giver. And this dude was being taught about, like, how to be successful. And one of the things that they taught was how the law of reciprocity is what it was called in the book. And how, like, giving without expectation, like, it's crazy because it's kind of like how the tide works, it goes out, but it comes back. Comes back no matter what. Like, no matter when you least expect it or, in different ways, And
I just, like I say, I enjoy helping people, and I don't expect anything in return, and I've told, friends like, hey, you need me. Like, I had some friends that were moving. They just bought a house as well. And like, hey, call me, let me know when you're moving. I got a truck, trailer, and 3 kids, we can get it done.
For sure.
And, I saw on Facebook, they're like, well, we just got the garage left. I'm like, you didn't call me. She's like, it was just, we started and it was it. But yesterday, my wife had to go to work. The kids were in school. So I was doing this, trying to get everything done yesterday.
Yeah. I
finally messaged her. I'm like, hey, I hate to do this. And she said, I'm on my way, and it was boom. There was no, and that, that's what people do, and so, and that's what I like to do. I like to help people. and
it feels good. It just feels
does.
good.
It does. And I mean, I like going out and doing a show. I mean, it's almost like a high for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never done any kind of drugs in my life. I've drank a bunch of beer.
Okay.
And a bunch of whiskey. But I've never done anything like illegal type drugs, other than drinking underage and stuff like that. But anyway, it was that I get that feeling. I get that. My feet are floating, and they don't touch the ground again until I'm almost back home after the show.
That's good. Yeah.
I love doing it. And it's just the last show I did was like an hour and a half show.
Okay.
My throat was almost bleeding. I mean,
Okay.
I was so dry from talking, and I love it,
Mm-hmm.
And in my shows, I recognize, I'll take a point. This last show I did, I recited, Johnny Cash had a poem, if you will, called Ragged Old Flag.
Okay.
And I recited that best I could. I didn't have it quite memorized. The idea came to me like 2 days before the show. So I was like, you know what? I don't know if any other comedian has ever done this. So
For sure.
I'm going to do this.
Why not try it?
If they have, great. That's awesome. But I got the idea from Cody Johnson, which is a country singer as well, a Texas country singer.
Mm-hmm.
He does that in all of his shows.
What, comedy?
No. Recognizes military, law enforcement.
Okay. Gotcha.
And patriotic type stuff in his shows. Matter of fact, the last show that my wife and I went to, December 31st, a guy that I worked with and my wife worked with was a patrol deputy back home, was murdered. He was the last law enforcement officer killed in 2019.
Okay.
And that happened about 3 miles from our house. While working in law enforcement, the first successful suicide I ever dealt with, he and I worked to try to revive the guy. And the next night he was supposed to relieve my wife from her duty, at the end of her shift. So anyway, it was just kind of a hard time. Anyway, the last show we went to, Cody actually recognized him in his show. And I had started kind of doing comedy again, and I was like, you know what, I need to do something like that. I want to do something. Because I always, think military and law enforcement and all that. So I said, I want to do something that I don't know of any other comedian has ever done. And like I said, the idea came to me like 2 days before the show.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And in my eyes, I kind of butchered it, but I had so many people come up like, man, I hadn't heard that in years. Some said, I've never heard that,
Okay.
So, and it, it kind of gave me a chill, and I was like, okay, so this is what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It may not get a big following, but it makes me feel good for doing it.
For sure, yeah.
And so, but I recited that, and then, that set was just more, kind of jokes that were law enforcement or military related, kind of deal. And so, like I say, I did that. I don't know of any other comedians ever done that.
For sure.
Because I butchered it. I don't approve of the way I did it.
Okay.
That video will probably not be published. So, but
you want to start doing that at every show?
I want to do that if at every show that I have, it's long enough.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I take a point in my show to recognize military, law enforcement, first responders. And because if it wasn't for them, we couldn't do what we do.
For sure.
And so it's just people don't realize that. Teachers are another thing. My sister's a teacher. I give her a hard time. She spent 21 years in kindergarten. It only took me one. So, but she was actually teaching. I had to go by her house before I came here, and she was actually in the middle of teaching her class from her living room. So
she's out here too.
Yeah, she's here. Yeah, she stayed here.
Oh, okay.
I went back, and then my parents came back in 2016, and they're still down there in Texas. But yeah, she's still here. So there, yeah, she's a kindergarten teacher. So
nice.
But and she kind of, I kind of get butthurt, if you will, seeing people, like these protesters that are kneeling during the national anthem. I don't approve of that. I'm sorry, that's just not something there's people that fought and died for you to have the right to do that, and that's great. Exercise your right, that's fine. But that, to me, that's a spit in the face to people who actually lost their lives to protect that right. It's kind of a double-sided coin, if you will.
For sure.
But anyway, it just bothers me, to see people do that. And it bothers her, when, like teachers are not recognized. Because she told me that she went somewhere the other day, and some of the kid behind the counter, she said, "Do y'all have teacher discounts?" And some places do,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she's not one to go ask for a discount, but she was just asking,
Mm-hmm.
And they said no. I said we have law enforcement and military, and she said, "Can you read that computer screen?" He said, "Yeah." She said, "Can you work that computer?" Yeah. She said, "If you didn't have a teacher, you wouldn't have had that."
For sure.
So she gets a, and it's understandable. So teachers are something else that I'm going, because if
Yeah.
I didn't have teachers, I wouldn't, know how to do anything.
For sure.
So it's, teachers, military, law enforcement. I want to make something in my show, as long as there's, a space for, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But if it's just, like an open mic or whatever,
For sure.
at the end of the little set, think military or whatever, think, but take a moment to express my appreciation for them.
Cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah. 100%, man.
But it's, that's another part of my,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call it strategy, but another part of my plan.
It sounds like it's something you're passionate about,
Yeah.
and you definitely
and I served as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to serve as long as I wanted to, due to an old back injury, but I did
From the rodeo.
Rodeo. Actually, what initially hurt my back, I was hunting on another man's place, and he caught me.
Oh no!
So yeah, and I was running back across the woods, and I jumped over a fence, and that's where I landed stiff-legged, and I bent down to pick my gun up and walk home, and that's where my back messed up. So
Oh dang!
But since then, I've had 2 discs removed out of my neck, 3 vertebrae fused together in my neck.
Oh wow!
So my spine about my belt line cuts over to the left. So
Oh no!
I'm crooked as a politician. So.
Okay.
Oh,
See,
but
I was I had ran a little bit yesterday, just like a little bit, like a few, like maybe 10 seconds. And out of nowhere, my back started hurting, and I was like, "What is going on here? Am I getting old?"
I tell you what, if you ever see me running,
Yeah.
you better outrun me, because something's chasing me.
Okay.
So fat boys don't run. Even when I was in the military, my drill sergeant said, "You got to run a mile in 8.5 minutes." I said, "Sergeant, I don't drive a mile in 8.5 minutes." So, but I did it. So, yeah. So it was, whew, that was a memory right there. So yeah.
Okay, and that was the last time?
That was, well, I mean, I ran a little bit. You can't look at me now and tell, but I actually got into bodybuilding when I lived up here the first time in the late 90s. And I didn't eat right. I mean, if I had done it like I was supposed to, I'd have probably looked like Arnold around,
Yeah.
But now I just look like a fat me. So,
Yeah.
so it's, but
For sure.
working on that. Everybody asks me, "How you doing?" I'm like, fat and sassy. I said, I'm working on the fat part, but the sassy part's not going anywhere. So
Yeah. All right, so you have a show coming up the second Friday of January in Woodland Park?
In Woodland Park.
At the
Historic Ute Inn.
All right,
And I'll put all that. My computers are packed up, so once I get everything unpacked, hopefully today in the computer part of it, so I actually have to do a video with another comedian on Instagram tomorrow night.
Okay.
So we're doing a live video together.
Collabs like that are always a good idea too. That's a good strategy as well.
And he's on the East Coast, so he's got to stay up late. And so if we're doing it, it'll be about 7:30 or 8 o'clock our time here.
Okay.
And it'll be,
Tonight?
No, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
night. Yeah, so I got to get all my junk unpacked and get at least a table set up so I can get my tripod and everything.
So for the people listening, it will be tonight because this will be released tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know if we were live or what.
Oh yeah, we're not. You didn't even know. You're just like, I'm going.
I'm just running with it. So
Yeah. I release them the next day.
Okay.
Typically.
Okay.
Usually, hopefully. So hopefully this will be released tomorrow. I should be able to knock it out and get it done.
Well, I on my Facebook page, on my comedy page, and I don't have my cards haven't come in yet. I run out of cards. So, but as soon as I get one, I'll get you one.
For sure. Yeah, we'll have to slap it up on the wall.
Yeah, if I got to bring it to you, I'll bring it to you.
Nice.
Or maybe we can do another one of these one time.
Well, I do plan on. I do like the idea of having reoccurring guests on. I think it builds the culture of the show, and it's just good to catch up with people and see how they're doing.
But I posted the link to your YouTube channel.
Oh, you did?
On my page.
Okay,
so,
sweet. On your Facebook page?
On my Facebook page. So I'll.
And then that photo is going to be released today, actually.
Okay.
And so the photo will be like a promo of the episode that's going to be released tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Cool. I was telling you that we did the benefit show.
Yeah.
That comedian that was coming up there, the black guy, Craig Bush.
Okay.
He was going to come up from Houston to Nacogdoches, was like 3 hours, and do the show for free because it was just going to be a free show. It was a benefit show.
Yeah.
He and I actually kind of had an idea with all this racism and crap going on, you see, this is what I perform in.
Okay.
This outfit. And you can look him up. He was on the BET. He was a BET comic, and I think on Comic View. So, I mean, he's been around the world, literally, doing comedy. And he and I actually talked about trying to get a tour together. Yeah. To go, me and him, and do shows, to kind of bring people together. For sure. Because this crap that's going on, there's no sense in it, Just because I'm white and you're black or Hispanic or Asian or whatever you are, that don't make us any different. We breathe the same air and we bleed the same color. It don't matter, I don't know if you're going to edit this out. If you do, that's cool, but I don't mind. But that's another thing that I'm passionate about. We're all equal. I don't care what color I don't care what your background is. Trust me, I didn't grow up privileged. I work for everything I have. For sure. I grew up on a 500-acre cow-calf operation. There was no free rides. The only free ride I had was on a heifer calf in the lot one night. And that was the only free ride I got, and I ended up with cow mess all over me. But but anyway, that was, that's how I grew up. Not everybody grew up that way. I wouldn't trade my childhood for nothing, but I was not privileged by any means. And these that were privileged, great. I'm proud for you. You were able to live that way. I was not. I'm proud of the way I grew up. But again, we're all going to be buried 6 foot deep. We're all breathing the same oxygen, and we all bleed the same color. And we all live in a great nation called the United States of America. For sure. And the freest nation as of now. Still the freest nation in the world. But I ain't getting political. But I'd have to stand up on this chair if I got political. But no, and that's something else. The politics that's going on and the crap the media's feeding us. I don't like to feed into it, really. I don't either. I don't either. Somebody asked me the other day, said, "Are you not concerned about what's going on?" I was like, "No." Yeah. How are you not concerned? I said, "I don't watch TV." Yeah. I turned my TV off. Yeah. I watch TV, but it's like the Andy Griffith Show, Little House on the Prairie, the old shows. That's what I watch. Okay. My wife, she watches like the NCIS and the Law and Order and all that. And both of us being in that background, I'm like, yeah, that wouldn't happen. Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. So I picked those shows apart. Yeah. She's like, well, I'm tired of watching Andy Griffith. I'm like, but that's more reality, than, But that was reality 50 years ago. It's not reality now, but for sure, 100% different. Yeah. But yeah, but I mean that's why I'm not worried about it. I'm not scared of this. For sure. When my time for my life to end here, there's nothing I can do to stop it. Well, I know things get hard, and things have gotten hard throughout my entire life. Yeah. Exactly. And and I tell my kids this, you get out of life what you put into it. For sure. That's 100% true. And if you put your all into it, it'll come back tenfold. But if you just kind of slouch through life and blah, 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 you're going to end up, my daddy told me one time I brought home bad grades in school. He told me if I didn't get my grades up that I was going to end up digging ditches or in prison. And he used some more colorful words than that. And we joke about it now. I worked in a prison, and I worked digging ditches, and digging ditches pays a lot better than working in a prison. Okay. so dang. Maybe I should have kept my grades down, and I'd have just stayed. Yeah, for sure. but yeah, so it's like I said, Yeah. Well, we'll probably start wrapping up this episode. Right. It's been fun. Fun hearing, learning about you and what you're doing, and hope to see you
get success with that, man.
Oh, me and you both, man.
Yeah.
And if I do, you get credit.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You get partial credit.
All right.
Can't give you full credit because I'd be struggling comedian
Well, I mean,
again.
your comedy is your comedy, so I can't take any credit for that.
But hey, you helped me get out there.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
That's kind of the way I look at it. Those that help me, I like to help them.
That's good, yeah.
And those that don't help me, I still like to help them.
As we discussed.
And honestly, when she told me to message you, I was like, I kind of creeped on you a little bit on YouTube, and I was watching something. I was like, none of these are what I do.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. So I sent in the request like, hey, you're scheduled. I'm like, oh crap, I was expecting. Yeah, no, dude, we're not doing that. So
yeah.
You start a business, then we'll talk. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's
And I mean, I'm open to having anyone on the show that does business in a way.
Yeah.
And I'm also just interesting people as well, but I still think that it's business for the most part.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's and this I never really looked at it as a business, but until that buddy of mine said the way you're hustling, your business for that, I'm like, wow, it really is a business.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a business you don't have to have a license for.
For sure.
So but yeah, it's anybody wants any kind of booking information, they can reach out to me on Facebook on the. My email is cowboycomedian@yahoo.com. My Facebook, my Instagram, my website, Cowboy Comedian or cowboyhosscomedian.com. All of the stuff that I have for sale is on the website.
Nice. Okay.
Once I get my computers unpacked, I'll be able to go on there. For some reason, I can't edit my website from my phone. I don't know why.
Oh, that's interesting.
I've got the app to do it because there's an app for everything, but I hadn't been able to edit it from my phone.
Yeah.
So, but you
get it set up soon.
Yeah. So the stuff that I have on the website, if you order it, if I don't have it on hand, I'll get it and it's shipped directly to you. So it's, I try to keep everything reasonable. I try to keep everything fun. And I tell people, if you've got an idea for something, we'll shoot it to me. If we use it, then you get credit for it.
Sweet. Yeah, man.
But,
well, great, man. It's been great having you on.
Thank you very much.
This has been the COS Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Thank you.